Are you trying to manifest something in your life and it doesn't seem to be working? Today, we're going to be discussing the best method for practicing the law of attraction. Coming right up. Hey, if this is the first time that you're stopping by, we'd just like to introduce ourselves. We're Steve and Odile Remmert, and we're professional empowerment and mindset coaches.
Yes, and our passion is to empower you to become happier, healthier, and wealthier with more love and success in your life.
And today we're going to be sharing 5 basic steps that you can implement to start seeing changes in the way that you're manifesting things in your life right now.
Right.
But before we jump into that, I've got notes here. Before we jump into that, we just want to let you know that we're launching a brand new Facebook group that's going to be dedicated to helping you manifest what it is that you're wanting in your life right now.
Yes, indeed. It's called Law of Attraction Answers. It's up already on Facebook. I created it this morning, and we will put a link in the comment section if you're on Facebook Live, in the description if you're on YouTube.
If you're using the law of attraction, why don't you just let us know in the comments below if you're actually using the law of attraction and if it's working for you. Now, let's jump into 5 steps that you can be using right now to be improving manifesting.
Yeah, and this really is the best way to use the law of attraction. So step one is identify the feeling of whatever it is, whatever the end result is that you want. Now, this may sound like, yeah, that's what everybody says, but there's more to it. It's not just that. So whatever you are trying to change in your life or manifest in your life, identify the feeling. So drill down to it. What is that feeling? Is it freedom? Is it love? Is it excitement? Is it enthusiasm, peace, whatever it is?
Starting with the end point.
Right.
The end point being the feeling.
Right.
And identifying, being very specific about the feeling that you're trying to identify.
That's it.
Step 2. You want to work toward conditioning your brain and body to feel good most of the time.
Yes.
So explain a little bit about what we mean there.
Yes. So why is that? You ask. So the way the law of attraction works, and obviously there's lots of different explanations and ideas on the law of attraction, but there are 2 main things. So first of all, the bottom line is feeling good, is staying in that feel good place. So if you are not feeling good most of the time, that means 80% of the time, that means you're not staying in alignment with whatever it is you want. So let's say my real life story, I didn't have enough money to pay my bills and I was struggling, and that was my life, basically, most of my life. And so I was being really positive. I was doing visualization, imagining as if I already had it. I had the feeling of it. I knew exactly, I was doing everything they said to do. But in between that, I was scared, worried, frustrated. And every time you go back to noticing it's not here, you're heading away from it. And this works on, different levels. So apart from the intangible, so apart from energy, the energetic alignment, the spiritual side of it, the electromagnetic and the quantum side of it, all of that, just purely on a logical, down-to-earth, perfectly reasonable, tangible level, when you're not feeling good, your brain is not working effectively. So you're not seeing things and keeping in alignment as far as your decisions go and the action you're taking. So what you want to do is condition your brain and body chemically, physiologically, to stay to feeling good most of the time. Then you're spending most of your time heading towards the result you want.
If you jump over to the Facebook group, we have put together a program that actually helps you walk through a conditioning program that's actually helping you do the conditioning.
Right.
So learning how to be in that feel-good state most of the time is something that you can train yourself into.
Yes.
So we won't take time to talk about that right now, but hop over to the Facebook group and we'll be, giving links to those kind of things there as well. Step 3 is to change the subconscious evidence that's there that is contradicting what you want now.
Right. So your subconscious contains evidence that proves whatever
Mhm.
you're experiencing in your life now. And the law of attraction can't override that because it's part of your survival
Mhm.
system. So you can feel wonderful. You can be as positive as you like. You can imagine the end result as if you have it now. You can do the visualization, the meditation, and everything else. But if your subconscious contains evidence
Mhm.
that proves that it's dangerous to have what you want, or that it won't keep you in alignment with your tribe or with what evidence is there, you're going to keep so-called sabotaging yourself. You'll keep finding yourself being dragged off into a different direction to where you want to go.
Yeah,
And that's what makes it so hard to stay in alignment.
I know for myself, just by way of example, that I was trying to manifest more money in my life, but I had subconscious references that were there, in the form of early childhood memories of hearing my dad talking about the customers that he worked for. And there was, negative talk around people with money. So the reference is there that if I have too much money, it actually might impact my standing in the tribe. My dad might not love me. So those are the subconscious things that are back there that could be holding us back, even though we're putting out all kinds of positive affirmations, we're trying to keep ourselves in a good state. If that information is back there, because it's linked to survival, it's going to override what's, the positive feelings and the positive affirmations.
Absolutely.
Good.
Step 4.
Step 4, you want to create an imaginal moment or a defining moment that represents the success that you've achieved what it is that you want.
Right. So an example of this, so the idea is not to give too much detail so that you're not restricting anything. But if you imagine, if you got what you want, what would you do or say? And it doesn't need to be a big scene. It needs to be one moment in time. The shorter and more succinct the moment, the easier this is. So mine, for example, back then, before I changed, before I had started on the road to what I have now, the one I did was just, I love my life. And my life, there was all kinds of stuff going on, but regardless of what was going on around me, I got, and step 2 helps make this much easier. So conditioning your brain and body to feel good more of the time makes this easier to do when you're facing daily challenges, because that's what most people struggle with. It's all very well saying, well, stay positive and keep your focus on what you want. But when you're dealing with the daily challenges that you've been dealing with, it's very hard to do that. This makes it easier. So a defining moment of mine was, I love my life. And I just kept saying that and feeling it. I had no idea what that entailed. I didn't know the details of my life, what my life would be like. I just had that feeling, I love my life. And that, I couldn't have seen then what I have now, but this is the feeling I have now. So it could be imagining high-fiving someone and saying, yes, I did it. Or thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so grateful. That's wonderful. Anything like that. And that's your defining moment that you practice over and over, just the feeling of it.
An example for myself, something that's maybe a little bit more specific. I was thinking about just this past Easter, getting together with family, and you wanted to manifest a really nice day. Instead of going through and trying to lay out the details of how I wanted things to be, I practiced a scene. I created that imaginal scene of the day being over. Yes. So we were driving back from the gathering, and the feeling of what that felt like to say, wow, that was a really great day. So creating that scene and then rehearsing that, practicing that, getting into the feeling of that
As if it's already happened.
As if it's already happened.
But with not too much physical detail. Just like, wow, that was amazing.
Right.
That's all you need. Wow, that was amazing.
Again, focusing on the feeling of it as opposed to the detail of it. And then step 5. Step 5 is to use zero tolerance and redirect and do whatever it takes to stay on track. So, yeah, I know that we talked a little bit earlier about, trying to stay positive, and you practice staying positive, but then you catch yourself, that inner self-talk that's kind of going on all the time, and catching that in the moment and redirecting.
Right.
We always have the power to choose what we're focusing on. So just catching yourself in the moment and redirecting to something that fits the feeling of that. Redirect to something that's positive. Now, again, easier said than done, but it's part of the practice. And the more you do it, the easier it gets.
Absolutely. And again, step 2 makes that much, much easier and quicker to do. And so doing those 5 steps, shall we run through them again? So step 1 is identify the feeling of the end results.
Mm-hmm.
And step 2 is
conditioning
your brain and body. Thank you. Conditioning your brain and body to feel good more of the time, most of the time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's learning to control your brain and body chemistry to help you stay on track in that way. Step 3 is changing the subconscious references that contradict what you want.
Step 4,
provide the evidence for what you want.
Step 4, create that imaginal scene that proves that it's already here. Get into the feeling of what it feels like.
Just that brief moment.
Once it's from that state of it's already here. So without the detail, but just focus on the feeling. And step 5, keep redirecting. So anytime that you're catching yourself in that place of negative self-talk, whatever is there, just keep refocusing, redirecting.
Using zero tolerance, which means don't wait for it to get strong. The slightest negative thought or feeling or anything like that, immediately redirect before it gets strong.
And again, we are launching the new Facebook group where we're going to be continuing this discussion, answering questions,
going into more detail,
providing more resources and that kind of thing. Again, I will be putting links to that in the comments section, or if you're watching on YouTube, in the description below. So we are super excited about that. We hope to be seeing everybody there, joining us soon. And until next week,
bye. See
bye
you then.
for now.